Hey, what is up guys? My name is Faker and
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal!
today I'm going to be talking about how to play Psylocke at the highest level. For reference, I am a Grandmaster 1 and... Hey, Future Faker here. I'm finally the rank 1 Psylocke player. Do you know how long it took? It took way too long. The wins, the losses, and then the 20-hour streams as well. But we finally did it. We finally did it. I hope I don't lose my rank. This video is going to have 4 sections, which are the general rules, the strengths and weaknesses, the secret tips that really no one talks about, and her playstyle. So, starting off with the general rules, there are 3 things that I would highly recommend you to keep track of. The first is to have a dash to get out of any situation. No matter if you're going in to go for the kill, using your ultimate, having that extra dash is extremely important because you'll be able to survive and stay in the game for a little bit longer. The second is thinking about your positioning. Depending on where you are, if you're with the team, without the team, always be aware of where you are and what you can do at that exact moment. Can you get into a situation where you can kill the opponent and get out? Are you going to be in a situation where you are going to die if you engage? Things like that. Just be aware of exactly where you are and how you want to engage the fight. And finally, this is something that is pretty crucial when you play Psylocke, is to actually communicate with your team and make sure that you are going to set up plays either for yourselves or for them. That way they can either help you out or you can help them out whenever the situation arises. I'm gonna ult early. I'm ulting super early.
Alright, I'll jump in whenever you're ready.
Alright, ulting in 3, 2, 1, ulting. Moving on to these strengths and weaknesses, while there are a lot of factors that go into this, I'm going to talk about a couple key instances. So, for strength, she is a very slim model and she's extremely mobile, which means that not only can you do a lot of damage up close, but you're very difficult to track down as well. So use that to your advantage and use the one-shot combo to kill the enemy and get out. For the main weakness, I would say that a lot of Psylocke players, even myself, have made the mistake of dashing in and just ulting. How many times have you been in a situation where you have an ultimate, you dash in, and then a Luna or a Mantis kills you because they're able to easily freeze you or sleep you? So many times, right? So, in order to avoid that, what I would recommend is to dash up in the air and then ult, because your ult falls down depending on the height level. So, whenever you do that, you can actually avoid most, if not all, of these stun abilities. Now, moving on to the secret tips that no one typically talks about, the first is to maximize your cooldowns and ultimates. I understand that as a Psylocke main, you want to typically go for the healers and get the backline, but if you can maximize the ability to go for the tanks whenever you have a cooldown and then go for the healers afterwards, that would be perfect. Because if you go for the tanks, you will massively decrease your cooldown and then you can later get a faster ultimate. And you also have a very high kill potential because not only will you be able to attack the backline, get the cooldown, and then kill the backline again, you'll be able to continuously repeat the cycle and then get your ultimate. Moving on to the next secret is the fact that you want to use your ultimate properly. So what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of people, when they use Psylocke, and typically lower ranked players, is the fact that they just want to use their ultimate when they get it. But I want you to think about when to use it, depending on the situation. So here's a couple of ways that I would use my ultimates. The first is using your ultimate before the healer ults. Now this is pretty simple, but you can also use this to bait out an ultimate before a massive team fight. The second is using it after the healer ults, and then boom, you can kill the opponents. The third is to combine your ult with another teammate. So let's say you have a Loki that, maybe you want to use a double Psylocke ult because they might have something to, tank or damage reduction, for instance, like a Adam Warlock. So you can combine your ultimates, maybe use it with a Groot so that you can deal the most damage and have the highest potential.
Hey, let's do get help.
What?
Get help.
No.
Come on, you love it.
I hate it.
Get help! Please! My brother's dying! Get help! Help him!
And the final way to use your ultimate, which is probably the most important, is to single out your target so that they can either stagger or they're not able to participate in the team fight. That way, you will be in a 6v5, 6v4 rather than a 6v6. And elaborating a little bit more into the last part is the fact that there are good deaths and bad deaths. So what are some bad deaths to start off with? Well, if you're going in a team fight and you're at a 6v6 situation and you try to set up a play and you end up dying, that would constitute as a bad play. However, a good death would be something like killing the Luna because you know she has an ult, so you instantly kill her, but you know that you'll die because there's a lot of people around her. So you get her, but then you immediately inform your team that hey, their Luna's down, you can go in and engage and kill the enemy team. Again, it's just all about being very proactive about where you are and how you want to set yourself up to get into a better position and to eventually win. And finally, moving on to the playstyles, there are 3 specific playstyles that I would like to inform you about, which you can actually use all 3 in a single game. So the first is becoming an initiator. You want to make plays to set up even bigger plays. So for instance, remember how we talked about the good deaths versus bad deaths? Well, if you can initiate and kill a DPS that has an ult or a healer that has an ultimate, then you can turn the game around and you can also turn teamfights around. Knowing how to initiate properly and also backing out whenever you need to is extremely crucial in excelling and getting into an even higher rank. Now the next playstyle is something that a lot of people do, which is the assassin playstyle. So you want to play solo and take out the backline and then try to get out whenever you can. So this one is pretty simple and self-explanatory. And remember, going back to the general rules, always have a dash to get out of any situation. Now my final playstyle is the deception playstyle, which honestly is my favorite, which is to play in the front lines, let the enemy know that you are with the team and that they're, safe and comfortable. If the healers can tell where you are, use that to your advantage and then disappear and boom, just kill them from behind. It's so easy to let them know exactly where you are, but it's also really good that you can use that information and turn around and just play with their minds. I really hope you guys learned something from this video, and if you guys would like to ask any questions, I'm live on Twitch basically every day over at faker_. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye!